is going on? You're listening to episode 209 of the Nintendo Powercast. I'm your host, and 64 Josh. Player 2 tonight, Nightcrawler. Once again, what's up, buddy?
Hey, how's it going?
It is going well. It is going well. Guys, that music you just heard is from On Being Human. You can check them out on Spotify and YouTube. This is an unofficial Nintendo podcast. And if you'd like to get yourself a free book from Audible, go to audibletrial.com/NPC and pick up something awesome like Blood, Sweat, and Pixels, or Ready Player One, or Console Wars, or Super Mario, How Nintendo Conquered America. All great listens. The chair I'm sitting in is from OP Seat. Go to n64josh.com/OP Seat. You automatically save $10 at checkout if you are a smaller human being. The Master Series, which is made for smaller human beings, is $40 off right now, plus the $10 stacks. So you're saving a total of $50. And you got free shipping. Don't miss out on this. n64josh.com/OP Seat. Lastly, my book, Another Castle, is available as paperback and on Kindle. And if you just sign up for the free month of Kindle, right, Kindle Unlimited or whatever, the trial, you can read the book for free if you'd like. That's n64josh.com/anothercastle. With that, we're going to jump to the announcements.
Hey, listen!
All right. Well, guys, I've had a lot of people ask how they could help with E3, and I'm not one just for taking handouts. So if you would like to get yourself a t-shirt to help with E3, you can go to n64josh.com/store, and if you use coupon code E32019, you'll save 10% on your purchase. So thank you to everybody that has been purchasing. I greatly appreciate the support. You guys are the best. I'm still working on the Mario project, which involves you guys. If you've got stories that you'd like to share and see in print, I want to take all these stories, put them together, and put them in a book that will be available to purchase on Amazon and as a paperback and as Kindle. Okay, if you go to n64josh.com/the Mario project, you'll see all the details. And what I need you to do is to write your story in Google Doc and then send me the link. That would be great. All right. So that is the Mario project. If you want to see when I'm streaming, when I'm going live, n64josh.com/calendar has all of your info there. I want to invite you to the Facebook group, n64josh.com/Facebook group. We got a lot of good people there. You can come hang out and talk video games. And then we have our Discord, n64josh.com/Discord, which is also a good time. Talking games, playing games, all that stuff. It's good. Guys, I have one more announcement for you. There's a new podcast starting, Super Mario Maker podcast. Coming very soon, possibly launching this weekend. Just gotta see. So it'll be a little different than any other podcast I've done. So it is currently on Podbean, but there is no episodes yet. So coming very soon. That is a Super Mario Maker podcast. All right. With that, we're gonna just jump right on down to the news, because I feel like we kind of talked about a lot of our indies and impressions and stuff. So here we go. Let's get to the news. Okay. So Crawler opened up the notes today. Sees the first thing here. It says Dragon's Lair Trilogy pre-orders are available this Friday, May 24th from Limited Run Games. I have a link to Nintendo Life if you want to see. There's an $80, $79.99 version that has you can fold up a little arcade machine. There's like an enamel.
kind of like that Doki, or
no, it's much smaller. This is more just like a little decoration, not like an actual arcade machine that you can put your Switch in, like on that one. Yeah, I have that here. I just never opened it. Probably won't. But yeah, so here's what's funny. Dragon's Lair Trilogy is digital, right, on the Switch right now. You can get it.
I think it's like $20-$25, something like that.
Yeah, these
are
not a lot. Don Bluth, I believe, is the animator that's involved with this. If you're you're familiar with like The Land Before Time, or kind of some classic 80s, 90s.
So 83 is when Dragon's Lair 1 came out.
And so this was in the arcade, and this is like you kind of just play you just have to react at the right time during the cutscene to make sure you
it's a movie that you react to.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
And it was what really got me interested in this game originally was what was the last year Stranger Things season 2 came out, because Dragon's Lair was featured in it. So the IGN and some other places like did more features on the actual game, and it was on Laserdisc, and it was like it was like 75 cents or something like that to play in 83. It was expensive. And it was so Don Bluth was from he had worked, I think, previously on Disney movies and left, and then didn't he end up making like The Brave Little Toaster and some other movies as well?
I don't even know what that is. I just know The Land Before
You've never
Time.
seen The Brave Okay.
No, and I think Fievel or American Tail. It seems like that might have been in the same.
But yeah, this game like looks like a Disney movie. It's got a knight trying to rescue the princess kind of thing. But yeah, it's all like the worst part of Bayonetta, like the quick time reaction stuff. Like that's the whole game. But it's something that you almost have to just eventually memorize the game, and that's how you win. It was definitely a quarter eater back in the day.
I remember I would feed it quarters and be like, I have no clue what I'm doing. I was this little kid. Like, I'm like, this is an amazing cartoon. And I would like, the dragon would like melt me. And I'm like, what? Like, what? How do I fight? What is wrong with this thing? But, so, okay. Here's what I don't quite understand. When this game was first in the like coming soon on Nintendo's website, shows a physical copy of it. So did Nintendo technically leak that Limited Run Games was going to be putting like, because I would see the box. They've done this with a number of titles where they show the actual box of the game versus just the little square that they typically show. Like it looks like a little like kind of like the menu, like the menu photo or whatever. And this was one that I was like, oh, I can get this physical. But then every time I'd go to Amazon, Best Buy, nothing. It was, there was nothing. And then here it is.
Yeah, I mean, I'm reading their article right now. Yeah, they talked about how Limited Run, it was revealed even that Limited Run would be handling the hard copy and publishing rights. So I'm sure like Limited Run must go to E3 and negotiate their deals kind of like the big box stores do when they decide to purchase stuff or distributors and all that kind of stuff on who's going to publish a game or something like that. And so Limited Run might have these things locked up well before we even know that they would. So maybe that is something, because it is kind of rare for Nintendo to put stuff up on their site that's not their stuff, or especially if they're selling it digitally on the eShop, they wouldn't put up a box art.
That's
even if it is the same as the tile or something like that.
Yeah, that's what it kind of threw me for a loop when it happened. So I was like, this is interesting. So needless to say, I was glad to see this. This is probably going to be another Limited Run that I pick up. I've kind of slowed down a lot on those. I know if you picked up Celeste and you're wondering what happened, I think we may have mentioned it on here, but they're trying to get all the DLC done so that everything's on the cart before that ships. So if you're wondering why is Celeste taking so long, that's why.
Well, and that might just be in certification right now, because I know he was trying to get it. Matt was trying to get it done, I thought by like the end of February or March. So we're well past that now.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember. I saw a tweet from Limited Run. It was showing. I can't remember the game that they showed. It was while I was on vacation, and the first reply was, "Where's Celeste?" And they immediately replied with, "It's on its way. They're just finishing up the DLC. We're trying to get everything on the cart." And that was last week. So it's still got a little ways to go, apparently. So, but it'll be here eventually. If you haven't played Celeste yet, I'm sorry that you haven't that you're having to wait, honestly, but it will be worth the wait. I promise you that. This was kind of weird. I saw this article. I'm like, do I put this in the show notes or not? But I thought we can kind of maybe dissect it a little bit. Pokemon Sword and Shield will be featured in the next issue of Koro Koro. It's like a magazine and slash comic. Like it's a comic, and then there's the I think they refer to it as the sister magazine or whatever like that. And there's going to be details on June 21st. Well, that's a week after E3. So
10 days. Yeah.
Are we going to be looking at new info, or are we going to be looking at rehashed info?
I think it's going to be I think it's probably going to be the same build at E3 that they've probably seen.
Well, in this, so I was, I got the Nintendo Life article if you guys want to check it out for yourself. But one of the questions they asked in the article is like, is it going to be, there's the chance that Sword and Shield won't even be at E3. And I'm like, I can't even imagine that being the case, and I mean, look, they mentioned Sword and Shield like what, 2 years ago or something.
Do you think it's going to be playable at E3?
I mean,
I wouldn't doubt that it's not playable at E3. I mean, I think that it could be. They like to do Pokemon stuff by themselves.
It may not be playable, but I would be.
It'll be mentioned in the main Nintendo. It will be mentioned. Yeah, for sure. We'll because we don't have a date, right? I don't think we do. I think we'll get a date. But I think a lot of the details and like we'll see a small bit of gameplay, some more, because I think, was it last week or 2 weeks ago? I think I saw like a trailer that had, I think, newer footage come out. It was very short. I don't remember where I saw it, but it had trainers running around in the open world. I don't know if it was rehashed stuff from the original 5-minute announcement or whatever that they had, or if it was newer stuff. But I think we'll see maybe some actual, like, I don't think we've seen any battle sequences yet, so maybe we'll see some of that at E3, but very little. And then I think we'll get a main Pokemon Direct probably 2 or 3 weeks after E3.
Yeah, that could definitely be the case. It's so strange, some of the stuff they do with Pokemon and like, like we had that one Direct where it was like, oh, and here's 2 free games that are available for you to play or whatever, like that Quest and whatever the other
Quest
one was.
And well, and there's also this Pokemon game that's out. Only it's being tested in Australia right now. I forget what it's called, but they talked about it last week on IGN's Nintendo show. I forget what it's called, but they have like a region phone in the IGN office that they were playing it. But it's a new. It's not quite like a Pokemon Go, but it's some kind of Pokemon battle adventure game. I don't know. It's very mobile-y, I think, but yeah, they have that. So I mean, and that is kind of just an early. I don't know if it's early access or if it's just a beta right now. What they're doing there, but they like to test. They like to test those because I think Dragalia Lost had a limited release, early release in Australia as well. They like to test in those smaller markets.
Yeah, so it's Pokemon Rumble Rush.
Yeah,
I believe so, and there is a review up for it on Nintendo Life's website. I happened to just see it briefly. They gave it a 6 out of 10. So they said it's pretty much for the
standard mobile.
They said it's pretty much for the hardcore. It says Pokemon Rumble Rush, a simple free-to-play outing that only hardcore fans will love. So, I don't know. Maybe it's just laying the groundwork, and then it can be something else. But
well, so like, where do you stand right now on Sword and Shield? Because I know a lot of people like to see exclusive Pokemon that are to each title, and the different kind of nuances that each of the games have. They haven't probably moved a lot of software and pre-sales yet. I haven't done anything with it. Like, we're almost for sure going to see something kind of special with Best Buy or GameStop or Amazon. Who knows what kind of special editions they might have come out. But also, like, fans of the series usually like to pick one and know what they're getting special in that edition. Where do you stand with that?
So real talk here. I didn't even know. I think I've mentioned it here before, possibly. I didn't even know that Firecat, aka Lytton, was Incineroar.
Incineroar.
Yeah.
I figured that out once I just looked at it. But.
I didn't even, because like I played so little of, what was it? Was that X that you started with?
No, that was Sun and Moon.
Okay, so yeah, I played so little of Moon that I never evolved even once, and so I remember that day I like had the revelation. I was like, wait, that's a Firecat, and I have a Firecat. Oh, so like I don't know. I don't even know that I like. I don't know that I care all that much to like see, for me personally, because I'm just not that invested.
Yeah.
Right.
I think it's kind of crazy. I bought both copies of Let's Go only because I went back to Best Buy and bought Eevee after they announced the Steelbook. Mm-hmm. So I'm hoping we don't get delayed special stuff. I might get one copy and wait and see if they do something stupid like that again. But
one reason, and we talked about this, I think I talked about it on episode 207 with Nintendo Guru, is I wouldn't, at this point in the game, I don't see any reason to really pre-order anything, right? And because like the those Steelbook deals that happen after the fact, but the main thing is if there's not Switches, and then of course Switch Minis, if that's actually a thing, coming out with Sword and Shield, I'll be very surprised. Right? This is the game, along with Animal Crossing, that your hardcore 3DS, 2DS fans are going to be making the transition for. Right. Mm-hmm. Some already made it.
And it's the perfect amount of time too. We're 2.5 years into the life cycle. The software, like it's a little more accelerated than like when Xbox and PlayStation did. Well, no, when did they come out with the S with Xbox? How late in the life was that? 2 or 3 years?
I don't remember the exact.
But I mean, we're about at that sweet spot where technology has advanced enough that the base like properties of the Switch hardware have gone significantly down in price, that they can, and it's also gotten smaller. Look, we're about to get a 1 terabyte SD card coming out here in the next little bit. It's going to be
only $500,
$450, but yeah, you can buy it. You're better off buying 2 400 gig SD cards for $60 each or whatever.
Right.
But all that technology advances at a pace that because the Switch was developed 4 years ago. Like they had the baseline down of what the hardware in the Switch was going to be that long ago, because then they had to go through prototype builds and manufacturing and distributing and all that kind of stuff. So they've had that hardware set for a while. So it's been able to shrink, and we're in that sweet spot where they've saturated the market to a good point. Like there's more Switches now in the wild than PlayStation 4s in Japan, and they're ready to make people buy a new hardware, or get those people that are late adopters that are sticking with PlayStation or Xbox and bring them into the fold.
Even if there's no other new system coming out, Let's Go had a special edition Switch. I guarantee you the mainline RPG series is going to have.
Well, they don't even need to do special Joy-Cons. They're red and blue.
Yeah, right.
How depressing is that? You aren't going to get special Joy-Cons.
Oh, brilliant. Yeah. So that's where I'm at with like pre-ordering stuff. It's like, I just got to wait, and the thing is like, I don't feel like they let us know about this stuff until just like maybe a month out, because that hinders sales, right? Because people that are like, oh, I need to get my Switch, this game's coming out, whatever. If they wait to announce that stuff, or they announce it too early, then you're gonna have people just waiting. Which, I mean, cool. That's better for the consumer, right? Because there's nothing worse than like you go and buy something, but like typically they're not going to be like, oh, hey, 6 months, guys, E3, hey, check it out. You can get the special edition, you know. Look, it's when
you want to announce a console 3 weeks out or something like that. Like you don't want to cannibalize your own hardware sales.
But what they did this last year, the Smash one came out like
early.
A month after the Direct. You had the download code, you know, and you can see Nintendo's push with these vouchers. They're pushing digital.
Well, because they make more money that way.
Absolutely.
They don't have to pay. They don't have to pay the distributor fee.
And you know, everybody always says, "Oh, why isn't my digital games cheaper?" It's because of retail. Well, they're looking at creative ways to not anger retail.
Yeah, I think I heard somebody talking about that. Like, Nintendo has like a non-compete clause with their distributors that they can't undercut them to make. It's probably just good business, but it might also be written into a contract with them that they like. That's how Best Buy and GameStop, they all stay relevant, is they can offer it. They're slowly evaporating. Like, GameStop's getting rid of something I just saw on Twitter, like use games, some kind of stuff with their premier members or something like that. And then like my Best Buy Elite status or Gamer Club is going away in December this year. But like, those incentives keep people from buying that. I like to see the boxes on my shelf, but also like that keeps me getting the game a little bit cheaper by doing that as well.
Yeah, you're saving with that Gamer Club Unlocked, or when Amazon was doing it, you were saving 20%. You know, it's like $13 off of a new game, right?
Yep.
Why would I buy digital at that point? It's $13. I mean,
and at this point, if you don't have any of that, wait a week, and the game will drop 10. Like when I got Mortal Kombat 11, Best Buy just dropped it $10. They dropped it down to 50, and with Gamer Club, I got an additional $10. So I got that game for 40, and I just waited a week, and that's all it was.
Right. Yeah. So I just say, like, just pump the brakes on pre-ordering stuff, just in case there's, you know, because if you do want a console or something like that, and a lot of times if you're pre-ordering a physical thing, you can cancel, switch, that kind of stuff. But if you're pre-ordering the digital stuff, I think you're kind of
don't do it on the eShop that way. Don't do it.
I think you're locked.
That's not going in. The whole point of pre-sale is, like, I've only had one game physically hard to find, and that was Payday. I think that's it, like, physically. But eShop, those games aren't going anywhere. You don't need to, like, the only incentive is to pre-download. So wait until the Thursday before the game comes out, pre-purchase it, download it then, so it's ready to go for the next day, and you don't have to wait for it then. But there's no reason to do an eShop pre-purchase or anything like that.
Unless you just want to see that menu,
that icon, and have it. But then it's taunting you,
right? Just teasing you the whole time.
I did that with Cuphead, and then it was just there, and I had to go put 9 different games in front of it so I didn't see it.
Yeah, and then you switch SD cards, and then you forget to re-download it, and then when the game launches the day it's supposed to be playable, like Smash, then you have to download the whole thing again. So, don't do that. Definitely don't do that. Do play the Mario Kart Tour test beta. If you signed up, you should have an email. If you haven't seen it, check your spam folder. I believe they had to go to your Gmail account, so I know Gmail has a few different filters. Like, so just make sure that you're getting it. But a lot of people have it, and you're going to be able to play. I don't know
if it was just first wave or not, but it sounds like they're getting people, because it starts on Wednesday, right?
Yeah. So curious about how this game is going to play. I'm optimistic, but also nervous. I know Nintendo's talked about their philosophy of playing mobile games with one hand, but come on, it's Mario Kart. Like, give us, even if it's lame touch controls, give us lame touch controls. So
I'd be all right with accelerometer controls as well, like motion controls a little bit.
I mean,
I don't like putting my fingers on my play space. Like, I don't like my fingers interfering with what I see. So if I can do more in the bottom just corners, and then include some, because the accelerometers in phones are awesome. I mean, better than almost better than the controller sometimes. So I'd be interested to see how they do it. And it sounds like it's going to be a little bit more casual experience than 8 Deluxe or anything like that.
And I believe, guys, make sure you read the emails you get, because I'm pretty sure it says you cannot post screenshots or videos. Like, you can't be uploading these to your YouTube or anything like that. I think you're actually bound by like a
non-disclosure.
Yeah, like a non-disclosure. So like, just make sure you're paying attention to that. Like,
you probably already checked a box that agreed to the NDA that you didn't read. So
it's fairly likely.
You already saw like the episode of South Park. Yeah, you already signed your life away, so be careful. Read what you need to. There might be somebody's probably got a feature up on a YouTube page or a news article somewhere that says what you can and can't do. So maybe search it out, or just go back and read your emails carefully.
Yeah, be careful. You don't want to lose the ability to play the game or whatever they end up doing. I don't know. I don't know how that works.
I don't think they would come after you individually, but they might revoke it.
Yeah, so just beware. PDP is releasing a wired controller with integrated voice chat and audio jack. I'm not going to lie, when I first saw this tweet go out, Nintendo of America retweeted it. I thought it was a wireless controller. Like, I was at work and I saw the picture and I was like, oh, and then when I looked closer, I saw that and it said wired, and I was like, oh man, that is such, because somebody was like, oh, it's wired. They're getting closer, So if you play like Crawler and I do, where you play at a desk, you're close to your system. I play with a GameCube controller a lot of the time, so I'm used to having a wired controller. I play with my Pro controller like plugged in sometimes, so it's not that big a deal to me. But I'm also able to use Discord right here at my desk, so I really don't need the Switch chat. Plus, people like to just spoil Endgame while you're in voice chat.
Day of. It was day one. Day one.
Poor Crawler. So anyway, if that's something that's that you're interested in, though, you can. I think PDP, they got their Twitter, that kind of stuff. You can check it out and see if it's for you. Katana Zero will be receiving a significant update at the end of the month. You're going to get a hard mode, new enemies plus remix levels and bosses, speedrun mode, cutscene skips and stable enemy behavior, fixed optional stealth level, and the most important thing is you're going to be able to pet the cat after the update. Okay, that's the
people like to pet dogs, pet cats. They just want to have those updates.
Exactly. So that'd be good. You also mentioned, I don't have it in the notes here, but I think I mentioned it a few episodes back, Dead Cells getting a pretty big update here in the next couple days.
It's on the 23rd, I believe. So I think that's Thursday. That's usually when indies get their big releases. So yeah.
Gotcha.
That'll be just something. Keep it, if you wanted to just do it. Keep Dead Cells in your top 10 tiles. I think there's auto update. Otherwise, you can just go force it to update after Thursday. Go check on it.
I don't have it in front of me. I saw a tweet earlier. I could probably dig it up real quick. The Nintendo's actually going to have maintenance going on tomorrow from like 5 to 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I believe. I will try to find the exact time here. While I'm looking that up, though, THQ Nordic. This is from My Nintendo News. They right now is kind of like your pre-E3 stuff. If press is receiving emails with games that are coming out, and even the email is like, this is confidential. You can't repeat this. So I'm actually getting pretty excited based on some of the games that I already know about that are going to be at E3. I'm like, oh, okay, this is cool. They don't even say what these are. They just say, hey, one is they're both fan favorites. One they say is like galactically loved or something along those lines. So you got people wondering, like, is it Destroy All Humans? Is it Red Faction? Like, what series is this? And then the other one just says it's a kind of a reinvention of a new of an old series or something like that. Look, the only thing I care about from THQ Nordic right now, and I'm sure there's a lot of great games, just give me Time Splitters. That's all I want. Okay?
Well, and wasn't that rumored like last year? Wasn't that in one of the leaks somewhere?
It wasn't rumored.
They bought the rights to it, right?
Acquired the rights.
That's right.
To Time Splitters, and so I'm like.
Do you think that maybe could be the remaster, or do you think that's because the article says you just went over that one's a new game in an old franchise and one is a remake?
Right.
Which one do you hope is Time Splitters?
Personally, I would love to see the trilogy on one cart and then a new title, kind of like what we're hoping happens with Metroid, right?
That could fit into both of those. I mean, it could all just be Time Splitters.
That's true.
It could be.
That's true.
I pulled up their Wikipedia just to see. I mean, they have Alan Wake. They have, I don't know what else they've acquired. But then they have, I think there's more like PC games and stuff, but like MX versus ATV.
Well, that Darksiders, I believe.
Series.
Is it?
Yeah, Darksiders is them. So the Spellforce series, which is like I don't know, is that a MOBA? I don't even know.
Which say the name of it again?
Spellforce.
I'm not familiar. With that. And they're not the only company too to have that's teasing 2 unannounced games. Ubisoft has 3 AAA unannounced games releasing.
Yeah, because they said they're going to have 4 come out by financial year, end of the financial year, right?
Which that's April 2020. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I'm having a hard time finding. I assumed I'd be able to find pretty easily the maintenance, but it's not.
Did they tweet it out?
I saw it from somebody else. So anyway, I believe the time was 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So just keep that in mind if you're wondering like why you can't connect to stuff. There is maintenance scheduled for tomorrow. So.
This is. Hold on. On the wiki, this is Wikipedia, obviously, but it's listed July 2nd, 2019, Red Factioned Guerrilla Remastered Edition. They butchered that name of their remaster. is listed for Switch on Wikipedia.
Correct. Yeah, that I believe.
Has that been announced already?
That was announced. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So, again, another great. Those were great games back in the day. I don't know how they all. I'm not sure how well they all aged. I don't remember the last one I played. It might have been that one. I don't recall, but I know it was a big deal back on the PlayStation 2, especially because it had destructible environments. And I remember playing multiplayer with my uncle, and we would just shoot rockets at each other. We both had bases, and we were just leveling each other's bases. They were just crumbling. So it was actually pretty fun. So who knows? But okay. Lastly, here, Hellgate. Doom Eternal concept art was shown on Twitter. Did you see this picture?
I think I did, yeah.
Oh my gosh. All I want to do is jump back into Doom. Like,
I need to beat it. Like, I have it and I've been enjoying it. I need like, again, just the backlog is massive, and I just need to, if you carve out time for a game and you tell yourself you're going to do it, you'll do it. But I just need to be disciplined about it and sit down and do it. Like, cause you did it in like a week, right? On those early morning streams.
Yeah, I did it. I did play it on the hardest setting just because I just love that challenge.
You hate yourself.
No, I enjoy it. I enjoy the challenge, but and I just love that fast-paced shooters. Like that's always kind of been my thing. So, but just seeing this picture, I'm like, oh my gosh, I want to jump back into this game. I can't wait to see what they come up with. I hope it runs as good as the current one does on the Switch. And
what they should do on those games, I'm kind of surprised like Doom 16 didn't include it, but like put an Easter egg in at like the end of the game or something like that to unlock, kind of like what Celeste had. you unlock that 8-bit game.
Right.
Put in original, like the file size for Doom can't be larger than 200 megs. Like, it's not a big game, like especially on current hardware. So like, just put the original back in. That would be such a like fun fan service thing to put in if they did that.
Well, and they do have those hidden rooms that take you back to the original graphics. That you can, there's a lever in each stage that if you pull it, you'll unlock a door somewhere that you can then go in and you fight some of the monsters, but you still look like you do in game as the Doomslayer.
You're just in 8-bit world.
But you're in 8-bit world against some 8-bit enemies, so it's kind of fun. It's kind of fun. I just the upgrades to your armor, that big blade that comes out, that kind of stuff. Like there's so many things that I'm really looking forward to. And I mean. Watching that game play on a PC was one of the first times that I was like, man, I wish, I may have to invest in a PC, but that game looked crazy, like at the crazy high frame rate and everything. Like it looked good. It looked really good. So, but yeah, okay. Well, that's that. I think it's gonna do it. We got the news out of the way, and we're gonna wrap this thing up. So, Crawler, where can people find you?
You guys can find me hanging out in the N64Josh Discord. N64Josh.com/Discord will get you the invite. Come play Mario Kart with us, because it was kind of lonely on Saturday. I know there was a Splatfest going on. The Splatfest. Do we want to talk real quick?
Talk about it. You got time.
It was a team teleportation one, 3-0. It was, I think the vote was pretty significant, and the games were very close. I think it was like 49.8 to 50.2. Like, it was very close.
Wow.
But yeah, this was one I jumped in on Friday night and played a little bit, and I reached king status, I think, on Saturday morning it was either before or after we raced. But yeah, come play. Moral of the story is Splatoon's fun, but come play Mario Kart with us.
Play the tournament. Yeah, 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time on Saturdays. So you can actually play at any time if you get people together. Like if you get in the Discord and be like, "Hey, I got to play on Fridays." Just get a handful of people and you can compete that way. So that's the nice thing about those tournaments is it's all week long.
You just gotta have somebody to play with, and the more the merrier, because you get more points if you win, if you have more people in the lobby.
Correct.
And then you guys can also follow me on Twitter, Nightcrawler724, Nightcrawlers without the E, and then also on Twitch, streaming, same thing, Nightcrawler724, Nightcrawler without the E.
There you go, guys. You can be able to follow me everywhere at N64Josh, Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, Facebook, all that stuff. You want to follow this show, it's at NPowercast. The show notes for this episode are available at n64josh.com/NPC209. If you want to email the show, it's npc@n64josh.com. Remember, if you'd like to get yourself a free book from Audible, go to audibletrial.com/NPC. The chair I'm sitting in is from OPC. If you go to n64josh.com/OPC, you automatically save $10 at checkout. If you would like to help support the content that I create, you can go to patreon.com/n64josh. And we are selling t-shirts right now. If you go to n64josh.com/store, you can save 10% by using coupon code E32019. And that is going to pretty much wrap it up. So some of you guys may listen to the Smash Bros. Cast, some of you may not, but we recorded our last episode today. And like I said, I am starting a Super Mario Maker podcast that is going to be tips for like creating levels, for playing through some of the harder levels. It's going to feature you guys and the levels that you've created. I'll probably feature your level on my YouTube and then talk about it on the show, things like that. So it'll be exciting. That's coming soon. So thank you guys for listening. We'll see you in the next one. Bye now.